Captain Woojin sat in his chair on the bridge of the Aegis Dawn. The ship moved slowly through the dark space between stars. This was their third week on patrol duty along the Outer Rim territories. Nothing exciting ever happened out here. Most of the crew felt bored. The ship was not very big. It had only 42 people on board. Woojin liked his crew. They worked well together. Mira ran the communications station. She was very good at her job. Tae-hyun took care of the engines. Nayeon handled all the science equipment. Captain, Mira called out suddenly, I'm getting something strange on the long-range sensors. Woojin turned to look at her. What kind of strange? It looks like a distress signal, but the pattern is not like anything we have in our database. The signal is very weak. It's coming from about 3 light-years away. Tae-hyun looked up from his engineering station. 3 light-years? That's pretty far out. There are no human colonies in that direction. Nayeon moved to her science console. She began working on the computer. I'm trying to analyze the signal pattern now. This is very interesting. The mathematical structure is completely different from human communications. Woojin felt his heart beat faster. A signal that was not human could only mean one thing. Are you saying this might be from aliens? That's what it looks like, Captain, Nayeon said. The signal is definitely artificial. Someone or something made it. But it's not from any human technology I know. Mira worked at her station. I'm trying to clean up the signal. Maybe we can understand what it says. She adjusted several controls. Static filled the bridge speakers. Then, slowly, the static became clearer. The sound was strange. It had a musical quality, like singing, but also seemed desperate. Even though they could not understand the words, the meaning felt clear. Someone was asking for help. Captain, Tae-hyun said, this could be big, really big. We might be looking at first contact with an alien species. Woojin nodded. He knew the rules about alien contact. All human ships carried special instructions. If they ever met aliens, they had to follow very careful steps. But the rules also said that helping someone in distress came first. Mira, can you record everything? I want a complete record of this signal. Already doing it, Captain. Nayeon looked excited. Captain, I'm detecting more signals now. Much weaker ones. It looks like there are many ships in that area, and some of the signals seem different. Like maybe there are 2 different groups. 2 groups? Yes, sir. The distress signals all have the same pattern, but I'm also picking up other signals that seem more aggressive. Shorter bursts, almost like military communications. Woojin felt worried. If there were 2 alien groups and one was in distress, that might mean the other group was attacking them. The humans had always wondered what they would find when they finally met aliens. They hoped the aliens would be peaceful. But they also prepared for the possibility that aliens might be dangerous. Tae-hyun, how long would it take us to reach that location? The engineer checked his instruments. At maximum speed, about 18 hours. But Captain, we're just one small patrol ship. If there's some kind of battle going on, we might not be able to help much. And if we go there, we'll be alone, Mira added. The nearest human fleet is 4 days away. Woojin stood up and walked to the main viewing screen. It showed only stars and empty space. But somewhere out there, aliens were calling for help. He thought about his orders. His mission was to patrol this area and report anything unusual. This was definitely unusual. Nayeon, can you learn anything else about these signals? I'm trying, Captain. The distress signals seem to repeat every few minutes. Each time they get a little weaker, like the power source is running down, or like whoever is sending them is getting farther away. What about the other signals? Those are getting stronger and more frequent. It really does look like someone is chasing the first group. Wujin made his decision. Mira, send a message to Fleet Command. Tell them we've detected what appears to be alien distress signals. Give them our location and course. Tell them we're going to investigate. Captain, Tae-hyun said carefully, are you sure about this? We don't know what we're flying into. I know. But look at it this way. If aliens are real, then this is the most important day in human history. And if someone is in trouble, we have to try to help. That's what makes us human. Mira finished sending the message to command. Message. Sent, Captain. Fleet Command will get it in about 6 hours. Good. Tae-hyun, set course for the signal source. Maximum speed! Aye, Captain. The ship turned and began moving faster. Wujin could feel the engines working harder. He returned to his chair and thought about what they might find. Humans had been alone in the galaxy for so long. They had explored dozens of star systems. They found planets that could support life, but they never found any actual life. Until now. Captain, Neon said, I'm trying to understand the distress signal. I think I can figure out some basic mathematics from the pattern. If I'm right, these aliens might be trying to show us numbers, maybe their location, maybe how many ships they have. Keep working on it. Anything you can learn might help. Hours passed. The crew took turns sleeping, but Wujin stayed awake. He could not sleep when they were about to meet aliens for the first time. Mira continued monitoring the signals. They were definitely getting stronger as the ship got closer. Captain, Mira said, I think I'm starting to understand parts of the signal. There are sections that repeat, and some parts seem to have emotional content, fear, maybe, and hope. Hope? Yes, sir. Like they believe someone might help them. Wujin felt the weight of responsibility. These aliens, whoever they were, had sent out a call for help, and his ship was probably the only one that heard it. In a few hours, they would meet face to face with beings from another world. The course of human history was about to change forever. All hands, he announced over the ship's communication system. This is the captain. In 12 hours, we will reach the source of an alien distress signal. This is first contact with another species. Everyone needs to be ready. Follow all protocols. Remember that we represent all of humanity today. As the Aegis Dawn flew through space toward the unknown, Wujin wondered what they would find. He hoped they were strong enough to help, and he hoped the aliens would be friendly. But most of all, he hoped they were doing the right thing. Admiral Hyunwoo stood on the bridge of the Titanfall. The massive ship was the pride of the human fleet. Around him, his officers worked at their stations. The normal day had turned into something extraordinary when Captain Wujin's message arrived. Sir, Communications Officer Yuna said, we have confirmation of Captain Wujin's report. The signal is definitely alien in origin. Hyunwoo looked at the star chart displayed on the main screen. Wujin's ship was a tiny dot moving toward unknown danger. The rest of the fleet was scattered across several systems. It would take time to gather them. How many ships can we get to that location quickly? He asked. 12 heavy cruisers, sir, replied Fleet Coordinator Minho, plus support vessels, about 40 ships total, but it will take us 2 days to get there, even at maximum speed. Doctor? So-young, the fleet's xenobiologist, stepped forward. She had spent years studying the possibility of alien life. Now it was really happening. Admiral, I need to prepare first contact protocols. We have procedures, but we've never actually used them. Do it. And prepare medical facilities. We don't know what condition these aliens might be in. Tactical. Officer Jinwoo was studying intelligence reports at his station. Admiral, I've been analyzing the signal patterns that Captain Wu Jin sent us. There are definitely two different groups. The distress signals seem peaceful, but the other signals look like military communications. Military how? Short bursts, encoded patterns, command and response structures. It looks like someone is coordinating an attack. Hyun-woo nodded grimly. First contact with aliens, and it looked like they were walking into a war. What do we know about their technology? Hard to say from just communication signals, but the fact that we can detect them means their technology is at least close to ours. Maybe more advanced. Dr. So-young looked worried. Admiral, we need to be very careful. If there are two alien species, and one is attacking the other, we need to understand the situation before we take sides. Agreed. But if someone is asking for help, we have a duty to respond. The fleet began changing course. Hyun-woo had commanded these ships for 5 years. They had fought pirates and protected colonies. But this was different. This could determine humanity's place in the galaxy. Admiral, Yuna called out, I'm intercepting new communications. These are not from the distress signal location. These are coming from the other direction. The attacking force? Yes, sir. And Admiral, they seem to know about us. Everyone on the bridge turned to look at her. What do you mean? I'm picking up references to unknown vessels and new species. They know Captain Wu Jin's ship is there. Jinwoo quickly worked at his console. I'm analyzing the military communications. The patterns suggest surprise and confusion. Whatever species is doing the attacking, they didn't expect to find us. Are they talking about us as a threat? Not exactly. More like curiosity, but also caution. Dr. So-young was taking notes rapidly. This is fascinating. We're observing first contact from both sides. The attackers are probably just as surprised to find us as we are to find them. Hyun-woo made a decision. Jinwoo, I want you to prepare a communication package about humanity, basic information, our technology level, our peaceful intentions, but also our military capabilities. Sir? If we're going into a conflict situation, both sides need to understand what we bring to the table. We're not helpless explorers. We're a spacefaring civilization with our own military. Engineer Kyung-soo spoke up from his station. Admiral, our ships are designed for human space combat. We don't know how they'll perform against alien technology. Our weapons and defenses are based on centuries of human warfare, Jinwoo added. They might be completely different from what aliens expect. That could work in our favor, Hyun-woo said, or against us. We need to be ready for anything. The fleet moved through space at maximum speed. 40 ships working together, their crews preparing for something no human had ever experienced. In the engineering sections, crews checked weapons and shields. In the medical bays, doctors prepared for unknown alien injuries. In the communication centers, linguists worked on basic translation programs. Admiral, Dr. So-young said, I've been thinking about the implications here. If there are two alien species in conflict, what does that say about the galaxy? What do you mean? We've always wondered if aliens would be peaceful or warlike. Now it looks like the answer is both, just like humans. Hyun-woo nodded, which means the galaxy might be more familiar than we thought, and more dangerous. Sir, Yuna interrupted, I'm getting an update from Captain Wu Jin. He's now 6 hours from the signal source, and he's detected actual ships on his sensors. How many? Hundreds, sir. Maybe thousands. This is bigger than we thought. The bridge fell quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. Wu Jin's single patrol ship was flying toward a massive alien fleet engagement, and the human fleet was still more than a day away. Can we contact Captain Wu Jin directly? Yes, sir. There's enough delay that real-time conversation is impossible, but we can send messages. Send this. Captain Wu Jin, you have permission to make contact with the aliens if necessary. Use your best judgment. Help is coming. Sent, sir. Jin Wu looked up from his analysis. Admiral, I'm starting to understand the tactical situation. The aliens sending the distress signals appear to be running. The other group is pursuing them. It's a chase across multiple star systems. Running from what? A much larger force. From what I can tell, the group asking for help is heavily outnumbered. Dr. So-young frowned. That supports the idea that we're looking at refugees and attackers. The question is, what should we do about it? We help the ones asking for help, Hyunwoo said firmly. That's what humans do, even if it means fighting. Unknown aliens with unknown technology? Especially then, if we're going to join the galactic community, we need to show what humanity stands for. The fleet continued its journey through space. Behind them, more human ships were beginning to move. Word was spreading through human space about the alien contact. Scientists, diplomats, and military commanders were all preparing for what might come next. Admiral, Minho reported, I've calculated our arrival time. We'll reach the area in 31 hours. And Captain Wu Jin will be there in 6 hours. Yes, sir. Hyunwoo looked at the star chart again. Somewhere ahead, Captain Wu Jin and his small crew were about to make first contact with aliens, and somewhere behind those aliens, a massive human fleet was coming to help. Whatever happens, he said to his crew, remember that we represent all of humanity. Every decision we make will affect our species' future. Let's make sure it's a good future. The Titanfall and its escort ships raced through space, carrying humanity toward its destiny among the stars. Captain Wu Jin's ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel. What he saw on the main screen took his breath away. Thousands of alien ships filled the space ahead of them. The vessels were unlike anything humans had ever built. They looked like giant flowers made of metal and crystal. Captain? Neon said in amazement. I'm reading massive energy signatures. These ships are huge. Some of them are bigger than our largest space stations. But Wu Jin could see that something was wrong. Many of the alien ships showed damage. Some were leaking atmosphere. Others moved slowly, like they could barely stay in space. Mira, are these the ships sending the distress signals? Yes, sir. The signals are coming from the largest vessels in the center of the formation. Any sign of the other aliens? The ones we think are attacking? Tae-hyun checked his sensors. Not yet, Captain, but I'm detecting weapon signatures on some of these. Ships. Old weapon damage. This fleet has been in a fight. Wu Jin made his decision. Mira, open a communication channel. Use the basic mathematical signals that Neon worked out. Channel open, sir. This is Captain Wu Jin of the human vessel Aegis Dawn. We received your distress signal. We are here to help. For long minutes, nothing happened. Then the ship's speakers crackled with sound. The alien voice was soft and musical, but Wu Jin could hear the fear in it. Unknown beings, the voice said in accented but understandable human language. You should not have come. The Skorath will destroy you as they are destroying us. Neon looked excited. They learned our language from our communication signals. These aliens are very smart. "Who are you?" Wu Jin asked. "And who are the Skorath?" "I am HFY of the Villani Collective. We are traders and explorers. The Skorath are warriors who believe the galaxy belongs to them. They have been hunting us for many cycles. How many of you are there?" 3 million Villani in this convoy, families, children, elders. We are all that remain of our people. The number shocked Wu Jin. 3 million refugees running for their lives. "Where are you going?" "Anywhere the Skorath cannot follow. But they are faster than us, stronger than us. They will catch us soon." Suddenly, Taehyun's alarms started beeping. "Captain, I'm detecting new ships approaching. Different design from the Villani vessels. These look like warships." "The Skorath," HFY's voice said with despair. "They have found us again." Wu Jin looked at his small crew. They were just one ship against an unknown enemy. But 3 million lives depended on what they did next. "HFY, we're going to try to help, but I need to understand your situation better. Can you send someone to our ship?" "You would meet with us face to face?" "Yes." There was silence for a moment. Then HFY spoke again, and now his voice held wonder. "No species has ever offered to meet us during battle. You must come from a very brave people." Within an hour, a small Villani shuttle docked with the Aegis Dawn. Wu Jin and his crew waited in the docking bay. When the shuttle opened, they got their first look at an alien. HFY was tall and thin, with silver-blue skin that seemed to shimmer. His hands had 4 long fingers, and his eyes were large and golden. He moved gracefully, but Wu Jin could see that he was very tired. "You are the humans," HFY said, looking at them with curiosity. "You look like warriors." "We're explorers," Wu Jin said, "but we can fight when we need to." Dr. So-Young had joined them from the fleet's advanced medical ship. She was recording everything with her equipment. "HFY, can you tell us about your people? And about the Skorath?" HFY gestured to his shuttle. Inside were more Villani, including what looked like children. They all seemed scared but curious about the humans. "The Villani evolved on peaceful worlds," HFY explained. "We have never known war until the Skorath came. They are different from us. They come from harsh worlds where only the strong survive." "What do they want?" "Everything. They believe that weak species should serve strong ones. They have conquered many peoples." Nayeon was scanning the Villani with her instruments. "Captain, this is incredible. Their bone density is much lower than ours. Their muscle mass is about half of a human's. They're built for low-gravity, peaceful environments." Wu Jin began to understand. "HFY, where do humans fit in this? Are we weak or strong by galactic standards?" HFY looked confused. "What kind of world do you come from?" "Earth. It has strong gravity, dangerous weather, many predators, diseases, natural disasters." The Villani's golden eyes widened. "You come from a death world?" "A what?" "A death world. A planet so dangerous that only the strongest creatures can survive. We have heard of such places, but we thought they could not produce intelligent life." Dr. So-Young leaned forward. "What do you mean?" "Most intelligent species evolve on garden worlds, safe places with gentle weather and few dangers. Death worlds are legends, places where creatures must fight to live every day." Wu Jin felt a chill. "Are you saying that most aliens come from easy worlds?" "Yes. The Skorath are unusual because they come from harsh worlds, but even their worlds are not as dangerous as what you describe." Suddenly, the ship's alarms began blaring. Mira's voice, came over the speakers. "Captain, we have incoming Skorath vessels. 20 ships approaching fast." Wu Jin looked at HFY. "I need to get you back to your people. Can your ships fight?" "We have some weapons, but we are not warriors. We will try to protect the children. But the Skorath are too strong." "Then we'll protect you." HFY stared at him. "One small ship against 20 Skorath warships? That is not bravery. That is madness." Wu Jin smiled grimly. "Maybe. But we're humans. We're used to impossible odds." As they rushed back to the bridge, Dr. So-young grabbed Wu Jin's arm. "Captain, do you understand what we just learned? If humans come from a death world, and most aliens come from easy worlds, then we might be much stronger than we thought." "What do you mean?" "I mean that what we consider normal might be superhuman to them." On the bridge, they could see the Skorath ships approaching. They were dark and angular, built for war. Wu Jin sat in his captain's chair and opened communications to the Vellani fleet. "This is Captain Wu Jin. We're going to try to hold off the Skorath while you escape." "Honored human," HFY's voice replied. "This is not your fight." "It is now," Wu Jin said. "Taehyun, all power to weapons and shields. Mira, send a message to the Skorath ships." "What should I tell them, Captain?" Wu Jin thought for a moment. Then he smiled. "Tell them they're about to meet some Deathworlders." On the Skorath flagship Domination's edge, Warlord Krexthar studied the reports from his scouts. The bridge was dark and filled with the smell of metal and aggression. Around him, his warriors prepared for another easy victory against the soft. "Vellani!" "Warlord," his intelligence officer Vextar reported. "There is something unusual ahead. The Vellani have been joined by ships of unknown design." Krexthar's 4 arms moved across his command console. "The Skorath were built for war. Their thick armor-like skin could stop bullets. Their claws could tear through metal. They had conquered dozens of species across the galaxy. Unknown ships? More Vellani allies, perhaps? No, Warlord. These vessels are completely different. Heavy armor, weapon systems we do not recognize. And Warlord, they claim to come from something called a death world." Krexthar laughed, a sound like grinding stone. "Death world? There are no death worlds that produce intelligent life. Intelligence comes from safe evolution, not constant survival. That is what we have always believed, Warlord. But these new aliens sent us a communication package. They call themselves humans. Show me." The main screen activated. Images appeared of a blue and green planet. At first, it looked like any garden world. Then the images changed. Massive storms that could destroy cities, earthquakes that split the ground, volcanoes that burned everything for hundreds of miles. "This must be false," Krexthar said. "No intelligent species could evolve in such conditions." "There is more, Warlord." The screen showed Earth's creatures. Sharks that could bite through metal. Bears that could crush bones with their paws. Snakes with poison that could kill in minutes. Lions that hunted in coordinated groups. Impressive predators, Krexthar admitted. But what does this have to do with the aliens? Warlord, according to their data, humans are these predators. They evolved alongside them. They survive by becoming more dangerous than everything else on their planet. Krexthar felt doubt for the first time in years. The Skorath were the most dangerous species they had ever encountered. They had conquered the galaxy because they were stronger and more aggressive than anyone else. But these images showed creatures. That made Skorath look gentle. What else do we know about these humans? Vextar displayed more information. They sent us examples of their entertainment, Warlord, activities they do for fun. The screen showed humans climbing mountains in freezing weather, diving to the bottom of oceans where the pressure would crush most aliens, fighting each other in organized combat sports, racing vehicles at speeds that would be deadly if they crashed. They do this for entertainment? Krexthar asked. Yes, Warlord, and they sent us examples of their military history. What appeared next made even Krexthar's warrior heart feel cold. Humans had fought wars involving millions of soldiers. They had built weapons that could destroy entire planets. They had strategies that involved sacrificing everything to achieve victory. Look at this concept, Warlord, Vextar said. They call it total war. It means destroying the enemy completely, using any method necessary. All species fight wars. Not like this, Warlord. Most galactic species fight for territory or resources. Humans fight for survival. They have concepts like fight to the death and never surrender that other species consider insane. Krexthar studied the data. In 100 conquests, he had never seen anything like this. Most species surrendered when they were clearly beaten. It was logical. But humans seemed to believe that fighting hopeless battles was honorable. How many human ships are protecting the Vellani? Only one, Warlord. One ship against our entire fleet? They must be terrified. Actually, Warlord, they sent us another message. They challenged us to combat. They what? Vextar played the message. A human voice, calm and steady, spoke from the speakers. Skorath vessels. This is Captain Wu Jin of the human ship Aegis Dawn. You are attacking helpless refugees. We will not allow this. If you want to fight someone, fight us. The bridge fell silent. Even Skorath warriors, bred for battle, had never heard such direct defiance from a vastly outnumbered enemy. Warlord, the tactical officer reported. We outnumber them 20-1, and they still challenge us? Yes, Warlord. Krexthar felt something he had not experienced in decades. Uncertainty. Everything he knew about galactic warfare said that the humans should be begging for mercy. Instead, they were demanding a fight. Show me their ship. The Aegis Dawn appeared on screen. It was smaller than Skorath warships, but it looked incredibly solid. The armor was thick. The weapons were numerous, and it moved with precision that suggested excellent training. Warlord, Vextar said quietly, there is something else. Our cultural analysts have been studying human behavior patterns. What did they find? Humans have something called pack bonding, Warlord. They form emotional attachments to other species. They will fight to protect creatures they have never met before. That makes no sense. Why would they risk their lives for strangers? Because, Warlord, humans evolved as persistence hunters. They would chase prey for days across impossible terrain. They never give up. And they protect their pack, even if the pack includes aliens they just met. Krexthar felt a chill run through his armored hide. The Skorath were strong, but they were not stupid. They conquered other species because they understood their weaknesses. Herbivore species were afraid of predators. Technology-focused species were weak in direct combat. Religious species could be confused by challenging their beliefs, but humans seemed to have no obvious weaknesses. They were predators, warriors, and survivors all at once. Warlord, the communications officer called out. The human ship is moving to intercept us. They are positioning themselves between us and the Vellani convoy. One ship? Yes, Warlord. Krexthar made his decision. All ships, battle formation. We will destroy this human vessel quickly, then continue our pursuit of the Vellani. Warlord, Vextar said, perhaps we should be more careful. These humans might be more dangerous than they appear. They are one ship. We are 20. Even Deathworld creatures can be killed if you use enough force. But as the Skorath fleet moved toward battle, Krexthar could not shake the feeling that they were about to encounter something completely new. For the first time in his career as a warlord, he wondered if the Skorath were truly the most dangerous species in the galaxy. On the screens around the bridge, images of Earth's predators continued to play. Sharks, bears, wolves, and humans. All evolved to survive on a world that tried to kill them every day. All evolved to never give up, never surrender, and never abandon their pack. The Skorath were about to learn what that really meant. Dr. Soyoung worked quickly in her temporary laboratory aboard the Aegis Dawn. Around her, alien devices and human equipment shared space as she prepared her report on galactic civilization. What she had learned from HFY changed everything. Humans thought they knew about life in the universe. "Computer, begin recording," she said. "This is Dr. Soyoung, xenobiologist, human fleet. Subject, comparative evolution in galactic civilization." She pulled up images of Earth on her screen. Mountains, oceans, forests. It looked peaceful until you understood what lived there. Based on my interviews with Volani representatives, I can now confirm a fundamental difference between human evolution and that of most galactic species. While humans evolved on what aliens call a death world, most intelligent species developed on what they term garden worlds. She switched to data about other planets. Garden worlds have stable climates, few natural disasters, abundant food sources, and minimal predation. Evolution on these worlds favors cooperation, intelligence, and peaceful development. Species become smart by solving problems together, not by fighting for survival. The door opened, and Captain Wu Jin entered. "Doctor, I need your analysis. We're about to face the Skorath, and I need to understand what we're dealing with." "Captain, what I've learned is remarkable and terrifying." She pulled up charts comparing different species. "Look at these numbers. Average Volani bone density is 60% of human normal. Their muscle mass is 40% of ours. Their reaction time is 3 times slower. They're weaker than us? Much weaker. But, Captain, they're not unusual. According to HFY, the Volani are typical for galactic civilization. Most species evolved in low-stress environments where physical strength wasn't necessary for survival. Engineer Kyung-soo joined them, carrying reports about human technology. "Doctor, I've been thinking about what this means for our equipment, our ships, our weapons, everything we build." "What do you mean?" "Human technology is designed for worst-case scenarios. We over-engineer everything because on Earth, failure means death. Look at our ship design." He pulled up blueprints of the Aegis Dawn. Triple redundant life support systems, armor thick, enough to stop asteroid impacts, weapons designed to destroy heavily fortified targets. We build everything like we're expecting a war. Dr. Soyoung nodded. "Because on Earth we were always expecting a war, against predators, against weather, against disease, against other humans." Pilot Heron spoke up from the bridge communications. "Doctor, I'm monitoring Skorath transmissions. They seem confused by our ship design. They keep calling it over-armored and wastefully defensive." "That makes sense," Kyung-soo said. "Most alien species probably build ships for exploration and trade. We build ships to survive." Captain Woojin studied the data. "What about the Skorath? HFY said they come from harsh worlds too. Yes, but not death worlds. From what I can understand, Skorath worlds are harsh because of competition between Skorath, not because of environmental dangers. They evolved to fight each other, not to survive planetary threats. What's the difference? Dr. Soyoung pulled up more charts. Huge difference, Captain. The Skorath became strong by defeating other Skorath, but humans became strong by defeating an entire planet that was trying to kill us. The implications were staggering. Humans had spent millions of years adapting to every possible threat: extreme heat and cold, poisonous creatures, natural disasters, disease, starvation, predators that could kill them instantly. Look at this, she continued. Human children learn to swim because we might fall into deep water. We learn to run because we might need to escape danger. We learn to fight because predators might attack us. For humans, these are basic survival skills. And for other aliens? For most aliens, these would be specialized military training. HFY was amazed that I knew how to swim. His people never learned because their home world has shallow, safe water everywhere. Kyung-soo was reading reports from the ship's medical bay. Doctor, the Vellani we scanned had some interesting physical differences. Their pain tolerance is much lower than ours. Their immune systems are much weaker, and they get exhausted much faster. That confirms my theory. Garden world evolution produces intelligent, peaceful species with limited physical capabilities. Death world evolution produces what we're seeing in humans. Which is what? Natural soldiers, Captain. Humans are evolved for survival in hostile conditions. High pain tolerance, strong immune systems, excellent stamina, fast reflexes, the ability to function under extreme stress. Captain Wu Jin felt the weight of this knowledge. So when we meet other aliens, we're not just meeting different species. We're meeting species that evolved completely differently from us. Exactly. And Captain, there's something else. Human psychology is also different. She pulled up behavioral studies. Most galactic species avoid conflict. It makes sense for their evolution. But humans seek challenge. We climb mountains for fun. We compete in dangerous sports. We explore dangerous places. We take risks. We thrive on risks. What other species see as terrifying, we see as exciting. Engineer Tae Hyun's voice came over. The communications. Doctor, you should hear this. I'm monitoring Skorath communications. They're analyzing our challenge to fight them. What are they saying? They keep using phrases like impossible confidence and suicidal bravery. They can't understand why we would fight 20 ships with one. Dr. Soyoung smiled grimly. Because they don't understand human psychology. For us, impossible odds aren't a reason to surrender. They're a reason to fight harder. Why? Because humans evolved as persistence hunters. We would chase prey for days across impossible terrain. We never gave up. Ever. That's how we survived when we were weak. We outlasted everything that was stronger than us. Captain Wu Jin nodded. And now we're not weak anymore. No, Captain. By galactic standards, we're incredibly strong. And we still have that never-give-up mentality. The ship's alarms began sounding. Tactical Officer Jinwoo's voice came over the speakers. Captain, Skorath ships are moving into attack formation. They'll be in weapons range in 10 minutes. Captain Wu Jin stood up. Doctor, last question. In your opinion, can we win this fight? Dr. Soyoung looked at all the data she had gathered. Physical capabilities, technology levels, psychological profiles. Captain, I think the Skorath are about to get the shock of their lives. They're expecting to fight Garden World aliens. Instead, they're about to fight evolved apex predators from a death world. Is that a yes? Captain, humans have been the deadliest species on Earth for thousands of years, and Earth is apparently one of the most dangerous planets in the galaxy. I think one human ship might be more than the Skorath can handle. As Captain Wu Jin returned to the bridge to face the alien fleet, Dr. So Young continued her work. She was documenting the moment when humanity learned its true place in the galaxy, not as explorers or diplomats, but as the apex predators of a universe full of herbivores. The galaxy was about to meet the Deathworlders. The space around the Vellani convoy became a battlefield. 20 Skorath warships moved in perfect formation toward the single human vessel. Warlord Krexthar expected this to be quick and easy. One ship could not stand against 20, no matter how brave its crew. All ships, attack formation 7, Krexthar commanded. Destroy the human vessel, then pursue the Vellani. But Captain Wu Jin had other plans. On the bridge of the Aegis Dawn, he watched the enemy approach with calm focus. His crew worked at their stations with practiced efficiency. Mira, open a channel to all frequencies. I want everyone to hear this. Channel open, Captain. This message is for all ships in this area. The Skorath fleet is about to attack refugees under our protection. They outnumber us 20-1. They think this makes them brave. Wu Jin paused. They're about to learn the difference between a garden world species and a death world species. On the Skorath ships, warriors listened in confusion. Most galactic species would be begging for mercy by now. Instead, the humans sounded confident. Tae-hyun, all power to engines and weapons. Neon, begin transmitting our cultural database to all ships. Sir, I want them to understand what they're fighting. Across space, human cultural data began broadcasting on all frequencies. Images of Earth's predators filled alien screens. Lions hunting zebras, sharks attacking seals, humans hunting mammoths with primitive spears. Then came human sports, boxing matches, where fighters continued despite broken bones, mountain climbers scaling cliffs in deadly weather, race car drivers traveling at speeds that would be fatal in any crash. What are they doing? Vextar asked on the Skorath flagship. I think, Krexthar said slowly. They're trying to scare us. But it was working. Across the Skorath fleet, warriors stared at images of humans doing things that would be considered insane by galactic standards. Swimming with sharks, fighting bulls, jumping out of aircraft for fun. Warlord, a ship captain reported. My crew is asking questions. They want to know if humans really do these things for entertainment. Focus on the battle, Krexthar commanded, but he could hear doubt in his own voice. The Aegis Dawn moved toward the Skorath fleet, not away from it. Most garden world species would try to run. Humans attacked. All ships. Fire when in range, Krexthar ordered. The Skorath weapons were powerful, designed to destroy the light ships of galactic civilization. Energy beams and plasma bolts filled space. Any normal ship would have been destroyed instantly. The Aegis Dawn's shields held. Impossible, Vextar breathed. No ship can withstand concentrated fire from 20 vessels. Human ships can, Captain, Wu Jin said calmly over the communication channel. We build them to survive asteroid impacts, solar flares, and direct weapon hits. Because on a death world, everything tries to kill you. The human ship returned fire. Its weapons were different from anything the Skorath had seen. Instead of elegant energy beams, humans used kinetic projectiles and explosive warheads. Weapons designed to destroy heavily armored targets. One Skorath ship took a direct hit and exploded. Warlord, the tactical officer reported, their weapons are incredibly destructive. They're designed for total annihilation, not just defeating enemies. On the Volani ships, millions of refugees watched in amazement. One human vessel was fighting 20 Skorath warships and winning. How is this possible? HFY asked his science officer. I'm analyzing their battle tactics. They're not following any known galactic combat doctrine. They're using what appears to be predator hunting strategies. The Aegis Dawn moved like a shark among smaller fish. It attacked one target, destroyed it, then moved to the next before the others could coordinate their response. Captain Wu Jin used tactics learned from Earth's apex predators. This is pack-hunting behavior, the Volani scientist continued, but with only one ship. They're using the tactics of multiple predators. Meanwhile, human cultural broadcasts continued. The aliens saw footage of human warfare throughout history. Not the elegant, rule-based conflicts of galactic civilization, but the total warfare of a deathworld species. Images of human soldiers fighting in impossible conditions. Desert heat that would kill most aliens. Arctic cold that would freeze. Garden world species solid. Jungle environments full of deadly creatures and diseases. They fight in environments that would be lethal to us, a Skorath warrior observed. They live in environments that would be lethal to us, his commander corrected. The human ship destroyed a second Skorath vessel, then a third. Each time, it used different tactics. Sometimes direct assault, sometimes ambush, sometimes hit-and-run attacks that left enemies confused and damaged. Warlord, Vexatar said urgently, I'm detecting massive energy signatures approaching. Multiple ships, human design. Krexthar looked at his tactical display. In the distance, more human ships were approaching. Lots of them. How many? 40. Ships, Warlord. Maybe more. Admiral Hyunwoo's voice came over all frequencies. This is Admiral Hyunwoo of the human fleet. Skorath vessels, you are attacking refugees under our protection. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences. The Skorath fleet found itself surrounded. 20 damaged warships facing 40 fresh human vessels. But it was worse than just numbers. Warlord, a ship captain reported, the human reinforcements are broadcasting their own cultural data. New images filled the screens. Human cities with millions of people. Human factories that could build thousands of ships. Human armies with weapons that could destroy planets. And everywhere the same message. Humans were evolved predators from a death world, and they never gave up. We surrender, Vextar said quietly. What? Krexthar roared. Warlord, look at the tactical situation. We're outnumbered. Our weapons barely damage their ships. Their weapons destroy us with single hits. And according to their cultural data, humans have a concept called total warfare, where they destroy enemies completely. Around the fleet, other Skorath commanders were reaching the same conclusion. These were not garden world herbivores. These were apex predators from the most dangerous planet they had ever encountered. Warlord, the communications officer said, I'm receiving surrender requests from 7 of our ships. Krexthar felt his warrior pride crumbling. The Skorath had conquered dozens of species, but they had never faced anything like humans. Admiral Hyunwoo, he said finally, this is Warlord Krexthar. We withdraw from this engagement. You will leave Volani space permanently, Admiral Hyunwoo replied. If we find Skorath ships attacking refugees again, we will respond with our full military force. As the Skorath fleet retreated, Krexthar understood that everything had changed. The galaxy now had apex predators, and they protected the weak instead of conquering them. On the Aegis Dawn, Captain Wu Jin smiled. "Mira, send a message to the Villani convoy. Tell them they're safe now." "What should we tell them about humans, Captain?" Wu Jin looked at the retreating Skorath ships. "Tell them that Deathworlders make very good friends, and very bad enemies." 3-star systems away from the first battle, the hunt continued. What the Skorath had expected to be a simple conquest had become a nightmare that followed them across the galaxy. The human fleet moved like a pack of wolves, never letting their prey rest. Lieutenant Young-Ho led his boarding team through the corridors of the Skorath heavy cruiser Bloodfang. The ship had tried to hide in an asteroid field, but human sensors had found it anyway. Now Young-Ho and 12 other humans were inside, hunting Skorath warriors through their own vessel. "Team 2, report," Young-Ho whispered into his communication device. "Corridor 7 clear," came the reply. "No resistance." That was the strange part. The Skorath were supposed to be fierce warriors, but they kept running from human boarding parties. Young-Ho's team had captured 3 Skorath ships without losing a single person. Behind him, Marine Sang-hyuk carried equipment that could cut through Skorath armor like paper. "Lieutenant, I'm detecting life signs ahead. Looks like they're barricaded. In the ship's command center. How many? 30 Skorath? Maybe 40. Young-Ho's team had 13 humans. In any normal military situation, attacking a fortified position with 3-to-1 odds against you would be suicide. But humans were learning that normal military rules didn't apply when fighting Garden World species. "Attention, Skorath warriors," Young-Ho announced through the ship's communication system. "This is Lieutenant Young-Ho of the Human Space Marines. Surrender now and you will be treated according to galactic law." Silence answered him. "Or," he continued, "we can come in there and get you. Your choice." More silence. Then, suddenly, the ship's internal speakers crackled to life. "Human predators," a Skorath voice said. "We are warriors of the Skorath Empire. We do not surrender." "Fair enough," Young-Ho replied. "Sang-hyuk, cut us a door." The human equipment melted through the command center's armored door like it was made of ice. Skorath weapons were designed to fight other Skorath or Garden World species. Human weapons were designed to destroy hardened military targets. As the doctor fell away, Young-Ho could see the Skorath warriors inside. They were impressive creatures, tall and heavily armored, with claws that could tear through metal. In single combat, any one of them could probably defeat a human. But humans didn't fight fair. "Flashbang out," Sang-hyuk called. The grenade exploded, with blinding light and deafening sound. The Skorath, with their enhanced senses, were completely disoriented. Before they could recover, the human team was inside. What happened next lasted less than 30 seconds. Humans moved with precision that came from thousands of years of pack hunting. They used non-lethal weapons that dropped Skorath warriors without killing them. By the time the aliens could see clearly again, they were all unconscious or restrained. "Command center secured," Young-Ho reported. 42 prisoners, no casualties. Across the galaxy, similar scenes were playing out. Human ships hunted Skorath vessels with ruthless efficiency. Every time the aliens tried to stand and fight, they lost. Every time they tried to run, humans followed. On the human flagship Titanfall, Admiral Hyun-woo studied tactical reports. His fleet had been chasing Skorath forces for 2 weeks now. The results were overwhelming. "Admiral," Fleet Coordinator Minho, reported, "We've captured or destroyed 60% of the Skorath fleet that attacked the Volani. The remainder are scattered across 4 star systems. Casualties? 17 humans wounded, none killed. Approximately 3,000 Skorath captured, 200 killed in ship explosions. The numbers were staggering. Human forces were winning, with almost no losses while fighting an enemy that was supposed to be the most dangerous military force in the galaxy." "What are the Skorath saying about us?" Admiral Hyunwoo asked. Communications specialist Yuna pulled up intercepted messages. "They're calling us nightmare hunters and demons from the dark between stars. Many of their ships are requesting permission to surrender rather than fight us." Dr. Soyoung joined them on the bridge. She had been studying Skorath psychology during the campaign. "Admiral, I think I understand what's happening. The Skorath evolved from herd animals on harsh worlds. Their fighting style is based on intimidation and overwhelming force. And humans? We evolved from persistence hunters. We chase prey until it collapses from exhaustion. We never give up, never stop hunting, never let our target rest. So this campaign is triggering their deepest evolutionary fears?" "Exactly. They're not just losing battles. They're being hunted by something that never stops, never gives up, and never shows mercy to enemies." Engineer Kyung-soo had been analyzing captured Skorath technology. "Admiral, their ships are designed for short, decisive battles against Garden World species. They have powerful weapons but limited endurance. Our ships are designed for extended campaigns. Because humans have always fought long wars," Admiral Hyunwoo said. "Yes, sir. Their ships run out of supplies after a few days of combat. Our ships can fight for months without resupply." The tactical picture was becoming clear. The Skorath had built their empire by winning quick victories against species that surrendered when defeated. But humans didn't surrender. They regrouped, adapted, and kept fighting. "Admiral," Yuna said, "I'm receiving a priority message from Skorath High Command. Let's hear it." The bridge speakers filled with the voice of Warlord Krexthar. He sounded tired and defeated. "Admiral Hyunwoo, this is Warlord Krexthar of the Skorath Empire. We request negotiation." "I'm listening. Your forces have proven their superiority. We acknowledge that humans are beyond our ability to defeat. We wish to discuss terms." Admiral Hyunwoo looked around his bridge. His officers had proven that humans were the most effective military force the galaxy had ever seen. But with that power came responsibility. "Warlord, Krexthar, here are our terms. The Skorath Empire will immediately cease all attacks on peaceful species. You will release all captured populations. You will pay reparations to the species you have conquered. And in return? In return, we will not destroy your empire. We will establish human bases in your territory to ensure compliance. And we will protect you if any other military force threatens your worlds." There was long silence. Then Krexthar spoke again. "You would protect us? After we attacked you?" "That's what humans do. We protect those who cannot protect themselves, even former enemies. We accept your terms." As the communication ended, Dr. Soyoung smiled. "Admiral, I think you just established the new galactic order." "What do you mean?" "For millions of years, the galaxy has been divided between strong species who conquer and weak species who get conquered. But humans are strong species who protect the weak. That changes everything." Admiral Hyunwoo nodded. In 2 weeks, humanity had gone from unknown aliens to the dominant military force in the galaxy. But more importantly, they had shown that strength could be used to protect rather than conquer. Minho, set course for Valani space. It's time to help our new friends rebuild their civilization. As the human fleet changed direction, Admiral Hyun Woo thought about the future. The galaxy now had guardians from a death world, and those guardians would make sure that the strong protected the weak, not conquered them. The age of human protection had begun. 3 months after the first alien distress signal, Captain Woo Jin stood on the observation deck of Valani Prime's new orbital station. Below him, the planet was rebuilding. Valani cities were growing again. Their ships traveled safely through. Space under human protection. "It's beautiful," said HFY, joining him at the window. The Valani diplomat had become a close friend during the reconstruction efforts. "Your people work fast," Woo Jin replied. 3 months ago, you were refugees. Now you have a thriving world again. We had help. Good help. Through the window, they could see human and Valani ships working together. Humans provided protection, while Valani shared their knowledge of galactic trade and diplomacy. It was a partnership that benefited both species. "Captain," HFY said thoughtfully, "may I ask you something about human nature?" "Of course. Your people could have conquered the galaxy. Your military power is beyond anything we've ever seen, but instead you chose to protect us. Why?" Woo Jin considered the question. It was one that many aliens had asked in recent months. On Earth, the strongest creatures often protect the weak. Wolf packs care for their injured. Elephants protect their young. Dolphins rescue drowning animals. Strength without compassion makes you a monster, not a leader. But the Skorath were strong too. They chose conquest. The Skorath were strong compared to Garden World species. But they never faced real predators. They never learned that true strength means protecting those who cannot protect themselves. A communication chime interrupted them. "Captain Woo Jin, to the bridge, please. Priority message incoming." Woo Jin and HFY made their way to the station's command center. Admiral Hyun-woo's face appeared on the main screen, broadcasting from the human embassy on the galactic capital world. "Woo Jin, I have news. The Galactic Council has officially invited humanity to join as a Class A civilization. Class A, the highest tier. Full voting rights, trade privileges, and most importantly, recognition as a protector species." HFY looked amazed. "Captain, do you understand what this means? Class A status usually takes species thousands of years to achieve. Most never reach it at all," Admiral Hyun-woo continued. "The Council has also asked us to take responsibility for galactic security. Apparently, several peaceful species have requested human protection from aggressive neighbors." Woo Jin felt the weight of responsibility settling on humanity's shoulders. "Admiral, are we ready for that kind of role? According to Dr. So-young's analysis, we're the only species that can handle it. Most galactic civilizations either lack the military power to stop aggressors, or they have the power but use it for conquest. We're the first species with both the ability and the desire to protect others." Ambassador Yoonji appeared on the screen, beside Admiral Hyun-woo. She had been leading human diplomatic efforts with remarkable success. "Captain, I've been meeting with representatives from dozens of species. They're all asking the same question. Will humans really protect them? What do you tell them?" "I tell them about human history, about how we've always fought to protect the innocent, even when it cost us dearly, about how we consider it honorable to sacrifice for others." Dr. Sunwoo joined the conversation from his research station. "Captain, I've been studying the psychological impact of human protection on galactic civilization. It's remarkable. Species that have been hiding from predators for millions of years are starting to explore and expand again. Because they know we'll protect them? Exactly. The galaxy is becoming more peaceful because everyone knows that attacking the weak means facing human retaliation. Suddenly, alarms began sounding throughout the station. Communication Officer Yuna's voice came over the speakers. All senior officers to the command center. We're receiving multiple distress signals. Wu Jin and HFY rushed to the command center. The main screen showed a star map with flashing red indicators across several systems. "What's happening?" Wu Jin asked. "Sir," Yuna reported, "we're getting distress calls from Skorath Space. Multiple systems under attack by unknown forces." "The Skorath are asking for help?" "Yes, sir. They say they're facing an enemy even more dangerous than humans." HFY studied the tactical display. "Captain, those are core Skorath worlds. If something can threaten them there, it must be incredibly powerful." Admiral Hyanwu's face reappeared on the screen. "Wu Jin, we're mobilizing the fleet. This could be our first test as galactic protectors." "Admiral, the Skorath were our enemies 3 months ago, and now they're under our protection. That's what being protectors means." Dr. So-Young's voice came through the communication system. "Captain, I've been analyzing the new threat. Based on the attack patterns, we're looking at something that makes the Skorath look peaceful." "What do you mean?" "The Skorath conquer species and make them serve the Empire. This new enemy seems to be destroying everything completely. No survivors, no slaves, just total annihilation." Wu Jin felt a chill. Humanity had become the galaxy's protectors by being stronger than everyone else, but now they faced something that might be stronger than humans. "Captain," HFY said quietly, "there's something you should know. The Villani have ancient records about the time before galactic civilization. They speak of creatures from the void between galaxies, destroyers that consume everything in their path. You think that's what we're facing?" "I think," HFY said, "that the galaxy is about to find out if deathworlders can protect it from something worse than death." Captain Wu Jin looked at the star map showing the advancing threat. 3 months ago, he had answered an alien distress call and changed human history. Now humanity faced its greatest test. "Yuna, send a message to all human ships. Set course. For Skorath space, maximum speed." "Sir?" "Tell them that the protectors are coming." As alarms continued to sound and human ships across the galaxy changed course toward a new war, Wu Jin thought about what humanity had become. They were no longer just explorers or traders. They were the galaxy's guardians, the apex predators, from a death world who had chosen to use their strength to protect the weak. The children of Earth were going to war again, but this time they fought not for territory or resources or revenge. They fought to protect 3 trillion aliens who had become their responsibility. On his personal communication device, Wu Jin received a message from his 8-year-old daughter, back on Earth. She was playing a game with her friends, something called Galactic Protectors, where they pretended to rescue alien civilizations from monsters. She had no idea that her father was about to do exactly that in real life. The human fleet moved through space toward an unknown enemy, carrying the hopes and fears of an entire galaxy. Behind them, on thousands of worlds, billions of aliens looked to the stars and whispered prayers to the deathworlders who had promised to keep them safe. Humanity was about to discover if being the galaxy's apex predator was enough to protect everyone from the darkness between the stars. The real test was just beginning.